Alright guys, today we're going to do a little segment on our trail cameras. This one that I have in here in front of me is called the Covert Scouting Camera, the 2014 MP-E5. Small cameras, so you don't have to worry about lugging big, heavy trail cams around. When you open this guy up, you can see the battery ports in the back. Plus and minus are labeled so that you know which direction to put your batteries once they're in the camera. And it takes 8 AA batteries, so you're not going to have to worry about the big C or D batteries that then make the cameras heavier. One thing that we're going to talk about today is how to set this guy up. So the memory card slot for your SD card is on the bottom here. The SD card should be formatted in a computer or laptop prior to installing it to the camera itself, but the camera does have a formatting feature if you need to do that. So to set everything up, you have a slide bar here. This is what you use to turn the camera on and arm it, as well as to set the date and time and other things like that. So if we move this to setup here, you'll notice on this LED screen here that 3 of the visible digits or numbers light up red. That's how you know that the camera is on and ready to go. Now, Covert does a really great job of this because they have all of the directions for how to set your camera modes up, whether it's pictures or video and all the different types that there are right inside the camera itself, so that you don't have to worry about flipping open a book. It's all right here. So what we're going to do today is go over how to set everything up. So once you have your camera turned on and ready to go, you'll push the menu button. The first section is the A-H feature. What this does is takes 2 pictures every 30 seconds. So there's a 30-second delay in between the 2 pictures that it takes. This is sometimes great if you're trying to get a lot of different camera angles of the deer or whatever game you're trying to monitor as they're moving in front of your camera. If we push the arrow down button, we can move to section B, which is 2 photos every 1 minute. So a little bit more time in between when it takes the actual photos. C is 3 photos every 5 minutes. So you're gonna get more pictures taken, but the time in between photos is gonna be a little bit longer. So if you have something where it might be 3 or 4 deer in sequence walking in front of the camera, it will only take the picture of the first deer, and you might miss the next one, but it's great for things like over a food plot. If we move to D, this is the video section of the camera. So it's gonna take 10 seconds of video footage every minute. And that's just great if you're trying to see exactly where the deer are coming from. And this camera is all motion censored, so anything like that is going to be great for you to have as far as inventory of your game and your land. There are other features, 2 of them. Section E is how to set the date and time. So once we get to this point and E is lit up on your LED screen here, you push the OK button. The first equal sign is the month. So you would use the arrow down key to select then the month that the camera is in at that point. For us, it's December here in Ohio. It's actually 2 days before Christmas. Once you have the date set, you arrow over. This is now for the actual specific date of that month. So like I said, today is the 23rd, so we have the 23rd lit up here on the screen. When we arrow over, it then goes to the final year. So we're in 2014 and we have 14 set up on the camera. If we arrow over, you'll see that an H appears. This is how you can select the time of day. So for us here, it's about 2:40. And it's actually set on military time. So you have to go to, for us here, it would be the 14th hour. The next thing that you set is your minutes. And like I said, this is about 2:40 here. So I'm gonna run the numbers up until I hit the 40-minute mark. Then again, you can arrow over. At this point now, it's down to basically the seconds, and that doesn't really matter a whole lot unless you're trying to time moon phases and things like that. And then we're back to the beginning with the months. So when we're finished, I push the OK button, and it brings me back to the letter E displayed on the screen. From here, I can arrow down, F appears. This is how you could format the card right on your camera. So what this is going to do is basically erase everything that's on that SD card, start over fresh. So if you have a new SD card that you just went and bought and you don't have your laptop, this is a great way to format that card so it's ready for use. Once everything is set and ready to go, all you do is simply move the switch to the on position, and that arms your camera. You can shut it, walk away, and hope that camera catches whatever you're trying to view. Now, for these cameras, they have awesome battery life. We actually had a camera out for over 2.5 months, and we actually didn't have to change the batteries a single time. It took over 3,000 pictures. So these guys are gonna allow you to leave that camera alone and take great inventory of your land without having to go in and change the batteries on that camera very often. And they're also very small and compact, so they're not gonna be noticeable if there's other people who might be walking around on your property. And they do have a mechanism here that you could lock it shut so that nobody can take your card. Thanks for watching this week's segment. Hopefully you guys can get on board with Covert Scouting Cameras and use them to take inventory on your own land.